elect myself. They elected me not once, not twice, but all my goddamn life. And they would do it again, too, if they had the chance. Oh, sure. They said they didn't trust me. They said, let Dick Nixon do it, and I did it. They said they wouldn't buy a used car for me, but they gave me the biggest vote in American history. And then they flushed me down the toilet. And they wanted me to stay down. They wanted me to kill myself. Well, I won't do it. If they want me dead, they'll have to do it. Fuck 'em! 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 Keep what you got until you get what you need.
This is ridiculous! I'm a warrior, not a variety of flower!
Got to give a lot just to get what you need sometimes, y'all.
You know what's cooking, you know what's cooking, you know what's cooking, you know what's cooking. Move!
If you die in the game, you die for real.
I feel like busting loose. Busting loose. Give me the bridge now.
Why are you here? The doctor said Peter was okay.
Oh, the doctor. Well, I guess he must know, right? I mean, he's a doctor and everything, and I'm just death.
Hey, Patrick, this is a very delicate situation and must be treated with great care and sensitivity.
Gotcha.
Run, everybody, run! Faster!
Who parked their car on my sandwich? I did.
Welcome to Winning Time Tapes, Episode 2. My guest today is Fox.
I am here with a bad back and a worse attitude. I'm kidding, I'm not. No, I have none of those.
And today, our topic will be video games. Later on, we'll be doing a little game where we follow a chart being made about your personal video game choices.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, this is where we finally get to let it all out, and you get to see how much of a quote-unquote hipster I am.
But before we get there, I want to know, what is your first video game memory that you can recall still?
Oh my goodness. Okay. I have two, because they're so important. That's the thing.
How old were you?
Oh, I must have been like 11, 12, maybe even younger.
You didn't game before 11 or 12?
No, we were poor.
Alright, well,
Poverty's a bitch.
Fair enough.
No,
Friends' houses, arcades?
Yes, but I mean, if you want to go with those, you can go even younger, because I was exposed to arcade machines in Mexico.
Right.
Which is like, that's just the thing. There's arcades everywhere. There's little pachinko machines as well. I think those are what's there nowadays, which breaks my heart personally, because video games are just my thing. But if you want to talk about the two memories, the first one is me having a Game Boy Advance. It was one of those bluish purple clear ones. And I think I was playing games like Scorpion King, Hot Wheels, Velocity X, and a few other games. I kept that Game Boy for quite a while, and then it broke.
Yeah.
My dad made the screwdriver, the tri-point screwdriver to fix the thing, just so we can get at it. Because he looked at it and he's like, "This isn't a flathead screw." It's like, "It isn't?" Nope. And so then he made his own screw, which I think one of the things I took from that is just make your own tools. Screw it.
Yeah, you are a bit of a handyman.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I'm a tinkerer. I'll tell you that. That comes with part and parcel with handymanness, because I like messing with things. I'm a handsy guy too, because if I can't...
Watch out.
Pause, I'll say. But what I mean by handsy in this particular instance is I like to get my hands on the thing that I'm working on, so that I can manipulate it and take it apart, see how it works. Get my hands on it as much as possible to really get a feel for the thing. And that sounds like, hokey nonsense, but there is a feel aspect of things. There's a certain way to how things feel. When you're in your car, there's a certain way the car feels that is right. Yeah. And when it doesn't feel that way, it's like, oh, well, something's wrong. Sounds, noises, smells, that contribute to feel. But that's besides the point. I'll get to that later.
What were you going to mention when you were 11?
The other memory?
Yeah.
The other memory. Thank you for reminding me. The other one is the GameCube. My first full-fledged console was a Nintendo GameCube. And the first game I ever played, and I've mentioned this, I think, to you a couple of times, is the Nintendo GameCube demo disc that contained Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg from Sega, Soul Calibur 2, which was not on the box, but it was there, the demo for Soul Calibur 2. You had Raphael, Astaroth, and I think Taki, and there was a fourth character, but I forgot who it was. What was the third game? Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, the demo, and I think I could only play as Sonic and a couple other characters. So there was a demo disc. Beautiful Joe, the first one, first level of Beautiful Joe. I have yet to play and / finish that game. I don't know if I want to. I probably should, but then again, I'd be playing Billy Hatcher for that same reason, and I don't care for Billy Hatcher.
Right.
It's a curious little game too. It's about a little kid in a rooster costume. It's look. There's some bonkers games that come out of Japan. This is one of those underrated bonkers games where it's like it's weird, but in like a wholesome way.
Right.
So that's that. And the game that defined me, I will say this, it's the game that defined
Beautiful
me.
Joe?
No, Splinter Cell.
Oh,
On the
okay.
GameCube. That is my game.
Yeah.
That is one of my quintessential games. Like if you ask me what's one of your favorite games, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. The first one, the second one, and all the way to the sixth one. Yes, I've loved all of them, which makes me a terrible person because I keep purchasing Ubisoft crap. Oh, it's terrible. Yes, no. Whoever's listening to this, do yourself a favor. Never pre-order a Ubisoft game. Don't buy a Ubisoft game on release day. Wait for like 7, 8, 9, 10 months because let's face it, it's a Ubisoft game. It's going to be broken as hell on the first day you get it. No exceptions with current day Ubisoft. Sorry, I had to go on that rant. But yes, Splinter Cell is what defined me as like a gamer because all of my tastes really come from there.
Right.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I love the passion. Second question.
Yes.
What do you have the most joyous video game memory? Like a memory associated with video game, whether that be you were at a party, that game was playing, and your best of friends were around, or something along, or maybe your greatest accomplishment in gaming, you were the most like the hardest thing you've overcome, or just again the most fun you've had with video games.
Not particularly. I have a lot of those memories, but they're in small dosages. I guess if I had to put one of them, is me and my cousins constantly playing WWE All Stars. Mm-hmm. That is still our game. By the way, emulation. I'd like to give a shout out to emulators everywhere. Thank you very much for allowing me to take my passion on the road. I'll just say that. WWE All Stars is the game that me and my cousins butted heads constantly. We'd get each other mad. We'd get each other hyped. We'd get each other going full bananas because we were like the best at it. I'll say that right now. I had to pull out all the stops with my cousins who are shorter and younger than me. They brought it. Every single time that we played that game, we brought it. Like, we would be underhanded if we had to be. We would be sneaky. We pulled every trick in the book. Me being a rushdown specialist, I just would try to just hammer them as much as they could. They were good at dodging. No, so I guess one of my core memories is playing All Stars with my cousins. And that's the reason why I was so good at it when we played it. Because I've spent so long on it.
Yeah, no, he introduced me to WWE All-Stars about last summer.
That's another memory, too.
Yeah, and it has been the most fun I've had playing with someone else showing me a new game in a long time. Because it's, like, it wasn't super, like, it wasn't like WWE 2K. It was much sillier and just, like, way more video games where the first time you did with Big Show punching someone out of the ring, I lost my mind.
Yes, and that was my main. One of my mains is Big Show. Yeah. For a reason, because he's freaking unstoppable. I get faced up against another Big Show main, and it's just going to be a draw. I'll probably lose. I'll probably win. But it's most likely going to be a draw.
Yeah.
No, it's so good. Because it doesn't take itself that seriously. It's fun. Mm-hmm. At its core, it's a very fun game.
Now, to go to the other side of the spectrum, when has been the time you're the most down and had to, like, just, like, as you're in either the angst or in despair, just, like, coped through gaming? Like, for me, like, for example, in high school, there were a lot of FIFA sessions where I just, like, didn't like my social life or, like, I didn't like where I was going or whatever, and I'm just playing FIFA against people online. And that's just kind of where the darkest where gaming has helped me cope my way out of the bad spot.
If you don't mind me rephrasing the question.
Yeah, go for it.
When So you're asking me to name a time when it was just horrible, it was bad, but I got through it with video games.
Yes.
There's been 2 occasions.
Okay.
Allow me to name 2 games that I will forever carry in my heart. You know, they're not my favorite games. They're not Splinter Cell. You know, they're not the game that like introduced me to tactical shit.
Yeah.
Which is why I love Splinter Cell. The Legend of Zelda. What was the cartoony one? I keep forgetting.
Wind Waker.
Thank you. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, in particular, if I may be specific, the HD version. I love the waves, by the way. Sorry. Is it too distracting for you?
No. I just like that I tried to do it subtly, and then you called out me changing it.
I'm
subtly.
sorry. I just love I love all your shit. I gotta be honest. Like I love seeing spectrum waves. Those are cool.
Because the last episode, every time I clicked away, you could hear the mouse clicking. So I'm like, all right, I turn the mouse off. Do it on the trackpad.
No, leave everything.
Get blown up for it.
Get blown up for it. No, I'm sorry. I just had to call it out. I didn't mean to do it on purpose. I'm just like, I like the waves.
Wind Waker.
Sorry, thank you. Wind Waker. Wind Waker HD on the Wii U. That is a game that got me through some really, really tough times when I was younger. Mm-hmm. You know, I had my Wii U and I was just playing that game because everything was just wrong. I can't tell you the specifics, if only because it's been such a long time and I've kind of overcome that. Mm-hmm. You know, but it was one of those games that
everything sucked, but I could play this.
Yeah,
and again, what's great about having a game like that, like for me it was FIFA, is you don't have to, like, it's not, again, Splinter Cell or WWE All-Stars, where that you have, like, pretty much purely good memories with. Mm-hmm. You don't have to, like, bring it down. It's like, and there was also times I really hated life while playing this game.
No, for me it wasn't that. It was, you know, because Splinter Cell was also there, I mean, for the bad times, because it wasn't all good times, but
you think, like, worst time of my life, I could just work through a game. Wind Waker.
Yeah, it was one of them was Wind Waker. Mm-hmm. I don't play it as much anymore, but it will be a game that is forever in my memories.
Yeah.
And it will be one of those games that I may not shout it from the rooftops, but that's because everybody knows about Wind Waker.
Yeah.
And if you haven't played Wind Waker HD, do yourself a favor. It's such a charming little game to exist in. That, along with games like, for me, the games to exist in are probably some of the better games. Wind Waker, Spider-Man for the PS4, and the other one I'm going to mention. But yeah, Wind Waker. Yeah, it got me through some really tough times. And again, it's just going to be with me forever. So, you know, if I get a chance to cop Wind Waker HD in any form, if I don't already have it, which I should, I'll cop it. I'm copping that sucker.
Your second title.
The second title, and this one is more recent, so I can actually tell you that it was while we were me and my family were going through a period where we were living in a very bad household. Mm-hmm. You know, not through any fault of, like, my family or our own. It's just circumstances led to this, and that's all I'll mention. Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Haven't heard of that one.
Not a lot of people have, and I don't expect that. It's a Ghost Recon game, and those games are kind of just like, they get released as like here's our open world game with tactical stuff, which I love, but I get why not a lot of people would. You want open world, you got GTA, all the old Saints Row games. You have so many good options for open world games. Ghost Recon is not one of them. It's good for a niche audience, you know, for the tactical guys, for those guys, you know what I mean. But Ghost Recon Wildlands was a game where I could exist, and I had access to, like, a lot of little toys. I can customize my character, I can customize my weapons, and the environments were just so bright and shiny. Not shiny, but they were so vibrant. That's the word, vibrant. You know, you could see the greens and the browns and coppers of the earth and the little buildings and all the little people there, you know, all the NPCs. It was great to just exist in. It was awesome. And that's the game I would play when I would just, you know, when I would have to stay awake until like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, just waiting for everybody to go to sleep. Because then that's the time you knew that everything was safe, that there was going to be no stirring, more than likely. Again, I'm glad my mom got out of that, and I'm glad I got out of that. That's why I ended up in the place I'm in, it's wonderful. I'm glad she's doing better, honestly. You know, again, shout out to my moms. She's doing great. She's taking care of my grandmama. She's doing awesome. It's great. But yeah, it would be Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, specifically the HD version, and Ghost Recon Wildlands. That's why I copped that game twice. In fact, both of those games I've copped twice. You know, so I copped it physically one time, and then I just copped it digitally for the Wii U. And then Wildlands for the PS4, and then for the PC, just so I can carry it with me forever. But yeah,
Nice.
yeah, no, some tough ones.
So next, I introduced you as Fox, not your birth
my actual name.
Right. But so that is because you are on Twitch.
I am. I cringe at the thought, but I know why I do it.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say go through the processes of like why you do.
Why am I streaming?
What appeals about Twitch? Yeah, why do you stream?
Why am I a VTuber? Well,
all right, divulged.
no. I mean, if we're gonna talk, we might as well talk turkey.
Yeah.
If we're gonna talk, we should talk turkey because the thing is, yes, that is something that I have to admit to myself because as an artist, I have to come to certain acceptances and realizations if I am to move forward with art. Because I am a lousy perfectionist.
You want to be, but just like it doesn't have the perfect.
Like
anyway.
if it's not perfect the first time, it's not worth doing it all, and that sucks. I'm still struggling through that. But when it comes to those things, you have to admit certain things about yourself. One is I'm a VTuber. That's completely fine because that allows me to do some art stuff.
Yeah, there's plenty of reputable VTubers as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. For me, the reason for VTubing specifically, there's two reasons. One, the backlog. If I'm streaming on Twitch, I got about 200 plus games I got to get through that I have no reason to get through. Yeah. Because I have, let's see, if I'm playing video games, right? Let's say I'm not streaming. And let's say I'm just regularly gaming. Yeah. What am I gaming? Ghost Recon Breakpoint?
Burnout?
No.
No,
that's the thing. A lot of the games I'll play for like a bit. Like I'll like, oh man, I want to play Need for Speed Pro Street. I'll play it and then I'm done with it. Burnout. I listen to the soundtrack every day. I'll play it and then I'm done with it. It's like, if I'm playing a game constantly, it's either going to be Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Rainbow Six Siege, or like Monster Hunter World. That's a competitive game I took after Siege because I don't want to play Siege anymore. I'm done with it. But I'll explain that at a later time if you want. But anyways, yes, perfectionism and all that stuff. I V2 for two reasons. One, creating a character allows me to like make things with this character.
Yeah.
It allows me to make stories, little drawings whenever I get the chance. But I can do things with this character. I can create a story around this character because I like doing these things. I do get an enjoyment out of like making stories. I have like several work in progresses that I haven't finished. That one of my major ones I've forgotten because of this. I haven't forgotten it. I just haven't worked on it as much, and I really should.
Well, also like VTubing, the creating a character aspect. Like a lot of people, that's the main draw for like D&D for a lot of people is creating a character, getting invested in a story that you can create, and just a nice creative outlet. But I think Twitch is interesting from like the VTubing perspective because it's kind of doing that in a modern day while also like being comfortable in an audience. And one thing is like, I want to do a podcast, but I couldn't do a podcast on my own because I need conversation, other people's thoughts to feed on. I was going to
say, that you're somebody who bounces.
But you're someone who, again, as maybe people are finding on this episode, very comfortable in not like ranting like angrily, but could just go off on anything that comes to mind. You could react to something in the game, and that'll lead you to a 20-second breakdown of what happened, and then to a story of like, oh man, that's like that time where whatever.
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit more concentrating as of lately, but only because I kind of run out of things to talk about. Well, one, I run out of things to talk about eventually, and two, I kind of want to get through a section. Like if it's easy for me, I'll rant for hours. Like I think I did that when I played Splinter Cell. It was just, it's so easy. It's so second nature to me because I've done it so often.
Yeah.
But if it's a game like Sniper Elite where I don't know what I'm doing, I do want to try to go for that perfect play. I am trying to be a little bit better about allowing myself the chance to not restart or like not retry. Just like, oh, I messed this up. All right, plan B, let's go. So screw it.
As a gamer, you tend to like want to be perfectionist to have things done the right way?
Yes, because there's a certain satisfaction to like the setup and payoff. You know, as somebody whose main game is Splinter Cell, I've learned to wait to get the timing right, to move slowly. Guess what doesn't work in a Twitch stream? Yeah, you can't move slow. Yeah, silence doesn't work. The type of silence that I go for, I initiated in Splinter Cell and I perfected in Ghost Recon, where I take forever just waiting for that right shot, where I take hours just in silence listening to things, you know, where I kind of just, I'm on my own listening to like the Splinter Cell soundtrack to get into the mood. It's a silent affair when I play Ghost Recon or Splinter Cell, you know, there's no noise, there's no sound, but that doesn't work when it comes to Twitch streaming. I'll admit to that. which is why I give myself the chance to say, okay, can I improvise?
Yeah.
No? Okay, well, we'll try this other way. We'll try this other method. We'll keep trying until we get it. And the thing is, I don't really want to do the whole reactionary thing where it's like, for the sake of it. It's just whatever it comes, it comes. It's unscripted.
I think a lot of people like don't have a problem with like genuine, like if you are an excitable person, so I think if just the reaction feels natural, it's fine. I think a lot of people our age now, I think finally, for this long time, I think people have been getting away with it for too long. But just like the whole like 12-year-old loud equals funny thing.
Yeah, no. I only get loud if I feel like I've earned it. You might hear that if I play Tekken.
Right.
Where sometimes I get the round and it's like, you will hear me just like, because I'm so silent.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, I'm actually trying to do what I'm supposed to do. I still button mash to no end. So it's exciting even when I button mash and when I actually try, I get that victory. Or when I make a plan and I pass that, I truly do get excited because I'm like, good grief, I thought I was never going to get through that. Hell, the last stream I did, which was what, Sniper Elite? God, that was me constantly bashing my head against that game. But I kept going at it because I'm like, I'm nearly done. I'm nearly there. It's so close. So I kept going. And that was a 3-hour stream, which I'm fine with, honestly. It's like, because that happened to me in Max Payne 3. Where it's like, I'm so close to the end. And it was like 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. Because here's the thing. I don't do myself any favors by setting it to the hardest difficulty.
Yeah, perfection is true gamer.
Yeah, no, just like because the thing is, I can do it on the difficulty that I want to, but that's not a challenge. That's just me cruising through the game saying, yeah, I played it. No. Where's the fun in that? If you can't do it on the hardest difficulty, if you can't overcome that difficult a challenge, well, maybe you should just not play the game or give yourself a break, which is what I do, which is why it's great that I stream, because it's like, 1.5, 2 hours, if I don't get through it, oh well, that's it. I come back the next time.
I don't think it's the same for Sniper Elite 3 or those type of games, but I do understand if you are literally playing a story game, but there's whatever like technical aspects to the game, putting it on easy mode just because I'm just here for the story, man. Which is fine. One thing I wanted to mention was so you're in Twitch, you see a lot of gamer opinions. You know about the ups and downs of gamer culture, or at least I'm
aware of it.
Yeah, you're aware of it.
I try to stay apart from it every single time.
There are two topics lately that are relevant that maybe not your opinion of, because I think you have the right opinion of, but like the discourse of one, the people freaking out about Assassin's Creed. If you could inform the audience who are not currently aware but want to be informed about these type of issues.
Assassin's Creed Shadows is a game produced by Ubisoft. It is the latest. Let me word myself. It is the latest entry in the Assassin's Creed series, and for those who don't know, the Assassin's Creed series is a game series that places you in a period of history in the past that is very heavily based on historic events, or historic locations, the Vikings, Constantinople, Italy during the Renaissance, the American colonies, 1770s. Yes, I will cop to the fact that Assassin's Creed 3 is my favorite game. No, I will not apologize for that. Anyways, Assassin's Creed Shadows is the actual name of I think it wasn't called Jade, but it was called Assassin's Creed Japan. Now, what's an assassin but a ninja, right?
Sure.
So, ninjas, we get to play as ninjas in Japan. Mind's blown, because they're like, finally, you're a stealthy assassin. What better than to play as a ninja? Well, guess what? The newest game, it's set in feudal Japan, and you get to play as a ninja.
Yeah.
Who's a female.
Okay. And
your other character is a black dude who's a samurai. And none of those are that historically inaccurate, really. The freak out is the fact that you are playing as a black person in feudal Japan. That black person is Yasuke, a well-known historical figure in Japan. Somebody who was believed to be one of Oda Nobunaga's samurai. I don't have the discourse on it completely, but that's because I'd have to be immersed in the history of Japan, and I'm not. But the controversy is basically just, black men in Japan. That's what it's boiling down to. People have forgotten that you get to play as a female assassin.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it seems the main issue that
It's
again,
just chuds being racists.
that we're seeing on Twitter is mainly white gamers just being like, why aren't I playing as the Japanese man in the Japan game?
It's like, no, it's so stupid. You know the reason I don't even pay attention to it? Because it's so bad faith. It's so blatantly bad faith that I'm not even going to bother with it. Because it's like, that's bait. That's just you trying to provoke like a response. I was like, I'm not going to bite into that. That's stupid. Bait used to be believable. Now it's garbage.
Yeah, the Musk era on Twitter has really like rewarded the worst types of behaviors, but that could be a
Because the
different topic.
worst types of behaviors are at the top.
Go to the top, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck you, Elon.
The other thing, maybe you're not as aware of it, but maybe, was so Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door.
Okay, what's going on with that one?
We had HD remix released for
Vivian.
Oh,
another stupid thing.
Yes. So in the original Japanese version, when it came out, it was made pretty clear that they are a transgendered person.
Mm-hmm.
And now, but
the localization didn't do it justice.
The localization back when it originally came out did not do it justice, so it left it,
ambiguous.
Yes. About whether or not that's the case. So a lot of people, well, and also they left it that way because they were like, I don't know how this will go over in America, which they were right to do. As we see 20 years later, the reaction has gotten worse.
Yeah, that's the worst part. The reaction has gotten worse. Yeah. Not better, worse.
I think it's gotten worse because of the whole, we have horrible influencers being just
shitty
turfs and
being absolute shitholes for the sake of keeping relevancy. It's so stupid. What is... I gotta be honest. I gotta ask the question, is it worth it? Is it honestly worth it to be such a rage-drunk person that you have to find enemies everywhere? It sounds exhausting. I'm not doing that shit.
Well, just crazy. Again, this is not a unique point, but I think it just should be said where, the conservative side will all be about freedom of speech. You don't take away, it's not hate speech, it's just words. But then, we have the whole trans thing with Vivian, or the other thing that's happening is cisgender being a slur.
Which it's not.
Cisgender
and transgender are descriptors.
Right.
But they're used in such terrible ways. When you call somebody trans, if you come from the right side, it's used as an insult.
Yeah, no, people try to use it as an insult when it's, again, generally not.
Yeah, no, it's not. But yeah, that's the thing. It's the whole idea of words and what power we give them and all that stuff, where it's some words do have inherent power and they're misused. Some words don't, and we give it to them. But yeah, no, the whole Vivian discourse is rather absolutely stupid in my opinion, because it's a story. You can choose to ignore it if you hate trans characters that much. Mm-hmm. You can choose to say, yeah, you know what? This character is in the game and they're trans. I don't agree with their views. I'm just not going to play it anymore. And be done with it. You don't have to make a big spectacle out of it, because it shows that you're not really offended by it. You just want to be offended. You want the attention that comes from being offended by this. You want to get the masses riled up. That's what you want. That's it.
Unfortunately, again, I wish, I don't know, I was more well-read or whatever, but
so do I.
Outside of, not giving them the attention and, engaging in whatever, just rage. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how we get around it outside of ignoring it, but then, ignoring it will lead to that pocket who are interested growing and just feeding itself, becoming worse and worse. That's the worst part.
You have to nip those kinds of things in the bud.
Right.
Just as soon as you hear that kind of nonsense, gone.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's the paradox of intolerance.
The thing that, I think I've tweeted about this ironically, but, I wish there, will be a new site like Twitter where, but the thing is,
with better moderation?
Better moderation, but just, because nowadays it's so, comfortable. Even the people who really hate Twitter for, what it stands for and, who's on it, still use it because it's what we've known for 15 years.
Yeah.
But and there are alternatives out there, but they're never gonna be full sale until maybe a big back from a celebrity that
you have to have absolutely big backing from from an entertainment standpoint as well as from a financial standpoint.
Right.
You gotta have guys. You gotta have I don't know. Let's say Chris Pratt is doing a promo for his new movie, and he's only doing it on Blue Sky. So people are going to flock to Blue Sky. But who's going to do that?
Well, yeah. And then the other thing is, it's oh, Chris Pratt, and then let's cue in all of the pro Musk stands that are like, oh, Chris Pratt, his movies suck now because he does a thing I don't like.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Oh, you did something I don't like? It's like, that's not the reaction to have, brother.
Yeah.
The reaction to have is, oh, you did something I don't like? Whatever.
Yeah, it's like you can still enjoy sucking Elon Musk's pole without, like, just...
Yeah, no, but that's part of the package. He doesn't get off until you start rage baiting at everybody else and agreeing with his opinions.
Yeah.
No wonder his wife left him. She wasn't agreeing with him. She wasn't agreeing with him enough.
Let's go to now the game, the more lighter topic now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you want heavy, I got you, bro.
No, but this is an About You video games chart.
Okay.
And as Andres gives his answer, feel free to follow along. You could either write it in your Spotify review or in the YouTube comments.
Yeah,
feel
write
free
it wherever you will.
Feel free to, share your answers or think of the answers as we go through this.
Shout out for name drops.
Yeah. So, let's go from the beginning, which is not up there actually. We're going to go childhood game. And again, we might not get to all of them because there are
many boxes.
There's 18 boxes.
Okay, well, try to get them as fast as we can, and if we have one we can dive in, we can dive in that. So let's try to get them filled out as much as we can. So let's go one by one.
Exactly.
All right, so first one.
Everyone think about, and also for each one, you can't repeat a game.
That's what's going to be difficult.
Yeah,
okay, so
you can't repeat.
All right, let's try.
Childhood game comes. What do you say? As you think, I'll say my answer is Mario Kart 64 because my first big console, I had a Game Boy Advance SP, but my first big console was Mario Kart 64, and I was pretty obsessed with that until I was about 6 when I got a GameCube myself. But ages 4 and 5. A lot of Mario Kart 64.
If I had to name the first video game, the one that I can remember the most is the Scorpion King for the Nintendo. No, not for the Nintendo. For the Game Boy Advance. That's my game. Scorpion King for the Game Boy Advance.
Now, your relaxing game. If you just want to I have a headache from life.
Yeah, I don't want to be here anymore.
I could just plug this in and know I have fun and it's such an easy game where I don't even have to think about the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna name Breakpoint, Ghost Recon Breakpoint for this one.
Okay, this is where Ghost Con gets answered. You only get Ghost Con once.
I know, that's the thing. I have 2 other Ghost Recon games, so I have 2 other games I could put.
You can't mention the same series again.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh. Fuck. Okay. No, fuck it. I'll leave it there.
All right.
I'll leave it with Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Well, after that answer, let's go over your most stressful game that you like playing, but still you have to think about a bunch of shit all the time.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay, there we go.
No, I look. As much as I shit on it, I do love playing the game. It's just that everything else around it is shit. Everything else around it is shit. Most of all, the community. Fuck the community.
Game you always come back to.
Oh, fuck. Burnout 3.
Okay, there we go.
Because I was going to mention All-Stars, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to need that game for another one. I'm going to have to hold that in my pocket.
You might need it later.
Yeah, I know.
Guilty pleasure game where you kind of ashamed that you play or have some sort of insecurity about that you really like this game, whether you think it's bad, whether you think it's, I don't know, maybe fan servicey, but you do enjoy playing it and will always play it.
Can I mention a game I've never played, or does it have to be games that I played?
We do have a category later called Have Not Played But Want To. But
okay, then I'll because
it should be games you played.
Okay, because I was gonna mention one that I'm I know I don't like this game, but okay, you know what? I got an answer.
Sure.
Cheers,
Overwatch.
love.
Ooh.
I think it's an absolute. I have a deep hatred for that game, but I will go on. Not until recently, I would go on and just play the game, but be an absolutely toxic mess at it. I would be the worst, most toxic person. My friends hate me for that. I understand though. I get it. I would hate me too. I'm still gonna do it because I fucking hate that game. It knows what it did. It can go fuck itself. But yeah, I will play it and be toxic as fuck because that's enjoyable.
What's a game that you have tons of hours played?
Fuck. Okay, well I can't mention Ghost Recon anymore.
No.
I can't mention Rainbow Six anymore.
What?
No. There is another one. There is a Monster Hunter World. There it is. Because I'm no. I remember a game that I spent so much time in because I was unemployed, and it was like a game that I got so much better than the person who introduced me to it did. That it's like, how the fuck are you this good? It's like, I just keep playing. I can't stop. So Monster Hunter World.
All right. What's a game that you have not played but want to?
All right, I guess I'll mention this one, but only as like a half-assed response, because if I'm not immediately interested in it, I don't care for it. Nier Automata. It's hyped to no end. Oh, it's a great story and great design. I don't give a shit about that. But I guess I'll play it for the sake of like, yeah, I played it. It's like Undertale. I played Undertale. Could care less about it. It's like, oh, this is, it's one of the best games out there. It's whatever. It's okay. Works. Yeah, I don't really hate things. I just don't care.
Okay, let's pause the chart for a second. That's not true. You hate things.
Yeah, I suppose. But I try not to hate things as much anymore, I suppose.
That's good, but...
Yeah, because I would have said, oh, I hated Undertale. But it's like, I don't really have any feelings about it. I played it and it was okay. I just am not going to rave from the rooftops about it.
I think the thing with hatred, if it's something good, like say, for example, Undertale or like Taylor Swift, I don't know. Yeah. But I think if it's good, then I think the most people really feel about it is indifferent. What they hate about the thing is how it's treated, mainly by other people.
Yes, the hype kills everything for me. Hype kills everything. Like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm done with it. Don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's just my immediate reaction.
Right.
Undertale, Nier Automata. What's this new game that's coming out? There's a bunch of games that if they're hyped to no end, and I don't immediately have an interest in from way before, I don't care. Right,
which I think the prevalence of people's fondness, like overexpressed fondness of it, will turn your indifference into
taste.
Yeah, into like just despising it being mentioned to you. It's like, shut up about it.
Yeah, no, yeah. Let me discover it. Yeah. Just say, hey, you should try this one out. I think it's really solid. I think it's cool. Sorry, I'm going to ignore this one. But it's like, oh, this is really neat. It'd be even better if I haven't heard about it, but that's not likely going to happen. But if somebody's introducing to me in earnest, I might play it. Like I did it with Undertale because my buddy was just like, please just play it. I know you hear all about it and all that stuff, but if you want my help, if you want me to be there with you, just please give it a chance. So like, okay, fair enough. And that was a game I just don't like at all because, oh, Undertale is so good and the music is perfect and all this. And it's like the sheer like outpour of like fandom is... it irks me. So yeah, I guess I'll mention Nier Automata because I don't really have any better answers. I still probably won't like it, but whatever.
Back to the chart. What's a game that you love but everyone else hates? Speaking of hatred, I guess now.
Oh, no. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few. There's so many like middle of the road or not great games that I play, but I'm going to mention True Crime Streets of LA. I'm pretty sure there's quite a bit of a...
I was like en masse bad reviews for that?
No, just not as good as its competitors. It's nowhere near as good as Grand Theft Auto San Andreas or Vice City.
But it appeals to you because...
snarky cop character.
Gotcha.
Crazy action, driving, fighting. Sleeping Dogs does it way better. It does everything way better. But my heart will always be with True Crime Streets of LA. That's where it started.
Now, what's a game that you hate that everyone loves? Is it Undertale?
No.
Oh, yeah, because we just went through you don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it. I'm indifferent to it after playing it.
Right. But what is a game that you actually hate? You've played it, you have experience with it, you're like, oh, this is bad. Why doesn't everyone else see that this is bad? Like for me, that's Smash Brothers Ultimate. There's Melee's right there.
Yeah, Melee's right there.
And yet everyone loves Ultimate, which I think is just a straight up...
It's polished, it's clean, it looks nice, there's so many characters. That's what people are going for.
But the gameplay is just clearly inferior to me.
But the gameplay is also not geared to a more hardcore audience, whereas Melee was already there, and it just works.
Again, the category is you hate,
yeah, you hate,
but everyone else loves.
I
understand. We understand this.
I know. Sorry, what's a game that I hate but everyone loves? See, that's the thing. I'm not really beholden to the opinion of other people as much, at least not as much as I used to anymore. So I'm like, if I hate it, I hate it, and I'm not gonna argue about it because you are free to have your opinion. You're free to like something.
Yeah.
I'm free to hate it, and we don't have to see eye to eye on that. We don't. We could just agree to disagree and call it a day.
All right.
But
stop dancing around the answer.
No, I don't have an answer.
You don't have an answer.
That's the thing. I don't have an answer because I don't really go with that. So I'm like, I would have named Nier Automata here, but I haven't played Nier Automata. So I have to name a game that I played that I like, that I hate,
That you
but
hate.
everyone else loves.
Yeah.
Because more than likely, I would have just dropped that game. If I hated that badly, I would have just dropped it.
So what's a game you dropped?
What's a game I dropped on like the first try? Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, I guess. But that's because I don't even hate it. I'm just like, eh.
Yeah.
It just doesn't do it for me. Everybody else freaks out about it. It's like, oh my god, Raiden flipped off suplex the gigantic robot. Cool. It's from Hideo Kojima, who I have less than 0 shits to care about. I don't care for Kojima.
Let me know not to book you as a commentator if a robot is getting suplexed ever.
If it's from Kojima, don't. If it's from anyone else, please, let me see it.
Fair enough.
Because it's not the fact that it's a random cyborg dude suplexing a giant robot. It's the series it's from. It's Metal Gear Rising. So I don't care for Metal Gear. I don't mind it. I just don't want to have it beating me over the head like, oh, Metal Gear Rising. I'm like, yeah, I played a second of it. I'm done with it. I'm out. Don't care.
Best art style.
Oh, fuck, dude, no. You can't do this to me.
As you think, I'll give a little shout out to Stardew Valley.
That looks good.
It's not a game I ever played, but I think it does. I think there's a bit of a indie obsession with pixelated art, but I think Stardew does it right, and it has really good like it's almost like a relaxing game where it's just
this is one I have to look at. This is one I actually want to look at because I'm pretty sure there are some good options that I played that I can tell you this is it. This is the one of the best looking games. I mean, I could go with Ghost Recon Wildlands again, but again, Ghost Recon is out of my list. But that's fine. That's fine. Because I have a few. Like for example, there's a game that I've been waiting for in my wish list that's coming out.
That's fun.
That's called Mariachi Legends.
Mariachi Legends.
If you played Hades or Hades 2, which I would put in that category. Hades to me has a really incredible art style. It's so good. It's so good that it makes me actually want to play it. But it's a game I'll get to eventually.
Yeah.
If I get to it, I get to it, and if I don't, I don't. That's fine. I'm going to curse myself by saying this, but it'll be there when I come back. And I say I'm going to curse myself because the whole idea of game ownership is a very hot conversation right now. Do you own your games? Should you own your games? Well, absolutely you should. Digital, especially. That's what I'm talking about. Because the whole digital purchase thing was like, well, you don't actually own it. You own the rights to play it. It's like, the fuck? That's so stupid.
You found some Reddit I have not been seeing about digital ownership or whatever.
Well, yeah, no, I have. But if I had to name a game, it would be Mariachi Legends. Mm-hmm. But that's because I do enjoy the style of Hades and those kinds of games. And this one's kind of in the mix where it's pixelated, but it's got that sort of influence, that very artful style. I could probably show you some of the screenshots that have been going around. It looks pretty solid.
I'll put some of that up in this part of the episode.
Yeah, no, I would appreciate it because again, I think it's shaping up to be a really gorgeous game, and I'm having so much high hopes for it. I'm not pre-ordering, but I have a lot of hopes for it because I like Hades and I like Guacamelee. It's not a mixture of the both, but yeah. So best art style, I'm gonna say Mariachi Legends, but if not, I'll just put in Hades.
Okay. Nathan, what's your favorite ending you've played in a video game? Mainly this was going to be a story-based game, but yeah, what's your favorite ending to a video game?
Oh my god. It's between Spider-Man and Spec Ops: The Line. Spec Ops: The Line left me just dead. It was one of the few games that I played, and I had nothing to say. I was just there, just fucking done, defeated. Did I win? No, I fucking didn't. No, I didn't win at all. I might have completed the final challenge. I might have gone through all that slog. I might have completed the game, but I didn't win. Mm-hmm. Nobody fucking won, and it was so just. I was literally just that meme of I've won, but at what? Sorry, I've won, but at what cost? Or just what's a game that left you feeling? You see the dude just slumped over with a bottle in his hand. That's how I felt with Spec Ops: The Line.
I see.
It was good though. I was upon further reflection, it's that's exactly what I needed to feel because that's what the game wanted me to feel. It accomplished what it wanted. Yeah. So I'm if I feel this way, it did a really good job. Because more often than not, I'm just well, at least it's done. But no, I was just there, just feeling
taken aback.
Yeah, just feeling defeated. Yeah, I won. But at what cost? That's literally what I was asking myself because the game is grueling. It's a slog. It's painful. And not in the way where it's like, oh God, I hate playing this game, but more in the, oh God, what am I doing? You know, it has you questioning, why the hell would you do that? This is terrible. This is awful. For those of you who know the white phosphorus scene, yes, that. I'll just leave it at that with no further context. The other one would be Spider-Man for the PS4, the first Spider-Man. It was fun. It was great. It was heartbreaking. It was all the things. It was just a really good, well-done game, and the DLC also does it. So I think I'm going to be brave. I'm going to put Spec Ops: The Line.
All right.
Because it may not have left me feeling happy.
It was the best ending.
But it was probably for me one of the best endings I've went through. You know, there's other games, of course, but like if I had to name a couple or one, Spec Ops: The Line. That's gonna be my choice.
Next up, favorite boss fight.
Oh shit! I don't have one.
All right. Well, as you think, I'll give mine.
Yeah.
There's a little game called Lego Racer. It was for the PC.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, that's an odd choice, but I should have expected it.
Yeah, my answer is we might do it. Maybe I do this with someone else. Maybe if people want to know my answers for each of these, that's fine. But
I'm happy to hear those.
For Lego Racer, though, there's Rocket Racer at the end, and just his level. He's insanely fast, so it's a matter of like, as a kid, just like you have to do something perfect, and it looks easy. But if you mess up once, it's a struggle to get back to it. So it's like a thing where once you mastered it once, you could kind of recreate it every time. But as a kid, like finding how you do it the first time, he just seems impossibly fast and warping to the finish line in like 15 seconds. It's like, how do you beat this guy?
Yeah, no.
I also just think. I think Rocket Racer is pretty swag.
No, I mean, it must be. If you took it that long, it must be. I'm going to name a very cliche answer, but because I don't have any good ones.
Okay.
Or at least ones that I remember personally. Mr. Freeze from Batman Arkham City.
Ooh, I like that answer.
Because it's very unconventional in that it takes away whatever you use to knock down a health chunk from in the first time. Like, oh, you did this to me to knock some of my health off? No. Oh, you did this other thing? No. You did this other thing? No. It cancels out what you did. It basically robs you of tools every time, which is great. Honestly, I think it's really well done. Because like, oh, you can't use the same method over and over and over again. And you're conditioned to do that just from fighting so many bosses all the way from the Super Mario era all the way to even modern times. You find a thing and do the thing over and over until the monster stops.
Yeah.
Not with Freeze, though.
No.
Which, again... It's a cliche answer, but that's because I don't have any better ones. Next is, we're in the final stretch of 6 here. Best story. What's the video game that, in your opinion, has the best story that you've played? Well, since I already named Spec Ops: The Line, I'm going to go with Spider-Man.
All right.
And that's because of recency bias.
Sure.
Yeah, recency bias is going to be... Because Ghost Recon has shit stories. They have shit stories. I'm just going to put it that way. Future Soldier was good, but I'm going to go with Spider-Man just because I name-dropped it already.
Sure. Favorite villain in video games?
Oh, shit. Okay, can you name yours in the meantime? Because there have been some good ones.
As you think, a lot of people would expect the other person from this series, but from Portal 2's Wheatley. GLaDOS is, again, totally respectable answer. I understand it's the better answer just because Portal is, like, an insanely good game. I just loved, when I was 11, the smarminess of Wheatley.
Yes.
And just, like, his little cheeky attitude while being just a complete dickhead and making GLaDOS a potato is hilarious. And just, when you're a kid, it's nice seeing that villain that, like...
Torture you for the first one?
What? No. Well, no, he... Oh, yeah, with GLaDOS, yeah, tortured you for the first one, and now they're, you know... It's like Yzma becoming the cat at the end of Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
But with Wheatley, is just someone who, again, like, needles at you the whole time, and then just, like, you know, gets horrible fate of being sucked into space.
Space. Yeah, especially with that guy
going around, yeah.
It's just like, oh God.
You deserve this hell.
Yeah, I was going to say, you literally earned that one.
So yeah, Wheatley from Portal 2.
I was going to say, didn't he beg at the end too?
Oh yeah, please, like, we can turn it out, we can still be friends and all that, like, no. That routine.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, when it comes to boss fights, I love that. It's such good schadenfreude.
Yeah.
Just have always the boss who's being an asshole, just like, beg. It's, give me more of those into my veins, because I love a good schadenfreude.
Yeah, especially when they're, again, I think that happens a lot, like, there are really despicable villains who, like, never have that, who I almost think are, like, written worse, but I think villains like this, even though you might argue it's an easier template because they don't have to go as like despicable, they're much more enjoyable, and I think contribute to the story in a better way.
Yeah, no. Because no, it just works better. Hold on, give me like 15 seconds to look through my library because again, I'm pretty sure there's at least a couple out there that are just that I just like either hated fighting, but I was glad that they were over, or you know what? Yeah, I was gonna say. You know what? First one that popped to mind right now, Gary from Bully. Fuck that guy.
Same thing as Wheatley.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I love Gary, and he's a prick.
Yeah, there's many more. I'm pretty sure there's many more in my library. But because it's the first one I saw, I'm gonna go with Gary from Bully. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
I'm gonna go. Or no, sorry.
Next one.
Yeah, let's go next one. Favorite protagonist in a video game.
Nick Kang. Oh wait, I already named True Crime Streets of LA, didn't I?
Yeah.
Fuck. Can I name Sleeping Dogs? Technically, it's in the same like series, but
go for it.
I'll go with Wei Shen from True Crime because again, I can't name anyone I can't name the Ghost Recon series. I can name Splinter Cell though.
Yeah, Splinter Cell.
Sam Fisher. Let's go with Sam Fisher.
All right.
That's my boy. Chaos Theory. Sam Fisher is perfection, and I'll still play it. Yeah, Splinter Cell. Sam Fisher.
Final three.
All right.
What game for you has the best soundtrack?
No, you cannot ask me this question.
As Fox agonizes in pain.
No, I can't. No. There's so many good. No.
I went with a pretty cop-out answer, but one that still affects me personally, which is Mario Galaxy.
Oh, no, Here's the thing. You cannot ask me about soundtracks for the simple reason that I just freaking love game soundtracks.
Yeah.
I even love Medal of Honor, the remake one. I love that soundtrack. Yeah, it's not great. It's a horrible game. It's lousy. But I love the soundtrack. Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Super Mario Galaxy, fighting games, Mortal Kombat 1. I love the soundtrack to Mortal Kombat 1. Tekken has solid soundtracks.
Listen, this is why this is one of the big three. I think this question matters.
So many good ones. This is an answer that will change every single day. Hell, it'll change in the hour.
Right.
So I'm going to have to just pick one, right?
Pick a game that, you can narrow it down by just choosing games you haven't picked already.
No, there's so many. Yeah. So, okay. Do, licensed soundtracks count? For example, if I were to name Need for Speed Pro Street, which doesn't have a soundtrack of its own, but it has, licensed music, would that count?
Yeah, that counts.
Or is it like an original soundtrack?
It doesn't have to be original stuff for the game.
I will name Burnout 3 Takedown for this one.
Okay.
There's 1,000 choices. Ghost Recon Future Soldier would have been up there too, but I'm going to go with Burnout 3 Takedown. So.
All right.
Yeah, you cannot ask me that. There's so many.
What is your favorite video game series / franchise?
Oh, fuck, I already named a bunch of them.
I know.
I have to name one that isn't.
All right. For this one, okay.
I can find another one. I'm pretty sure I can find another one. Because like I said, what series? I've named Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell. Rainbow Six isn't one of my favorites, so I'm not naming another Clancy game. Hawks is awful.
Glad that got brought up to let us know it's bad.
Tom Clancy's Hawks. It's just a cheap Ace Combat knockoff. I love that game better, but only because everybody loves Ace Combat, so I'm like, no, I'm gonna like Hawks instead. I'm gonna like Tom Clancy's Hawks instead, because I'm a contrarian in an absolute dweeb on occasions. But okay, remind me of the question again. I got lost. I legitimately got lost in that one.
Bound to happen. Favorite video game series.
Favorite video game series.
For me, it's the Mario parties. Just I could play 1 through 8 comfortably.
I can only play 4.
4 is the best one.
Yeah, I can only play 4 because that's the game I played, one of the games that I played constantly when I had no memory card. So I had to start every single time from scratch. Sucks. I already named the Burnout series, right? Oh, shit. Okay, I'm going to name this answer, but only because I like the most recent game, WWE 2K series.
Okay.
I would have named SmackDown vs. Raw, probably is a better game, but I don't have a lot of experience with those.
Sure.
Here Comes the Pain and the SmackDown series, I don't have a lot of experience with those. But because I like the most recent game, 2K24, CM Punk's back on the game, I want to get it now. I'll name the 2K series. It's not my best answer, but that's because the actual good answers I've named everywhere else. It's like, you can't name this gaming franchise again. Well, shit.
And now, the final question.
Uh-huh.
What is your favorite game of all time? And again, if you need to dip back into Splinter Cell...
I was going to say, can I dive back? Because I have like 10.
Uh-huh.
I'd name True Crime, Ghost Recon. But I'm going to cop out and name a game that I haven't, that I've already named. So I'm going to go with... Oh, shit. It's a tough choice between Ghost Recon Future Soldier, True Crime Streets of LA, Splinter Cell Conviction of all games. I mean, it should be like the third one, but, you know. Marvel Spider-Man is another one. One of my favorite games of all time. I'm going to go with...
Mine is Star Wars Battlefront 2.
That's a good one.
For the PlayStation 2.
That's
Just
a good one.
so much fun.
No, that's a good one. This is a tough one. So I'm gonna dive back and I'm gonna say, because Monster Hunter World's up there too. Yeah, no, it is an agonizing choice. I clicked my tongue like 7-8 times now just thinking.
Well, why don't you don't have to produce noise, and I could rattle off some other things as you.
All right. Well, tell me, besides, what did you name?
I named Star Wars Battlefront 2 for PlayStation 2.
Did you have any other candidates?
Oh, certainly. But again, a lot of times I felt there were better answers in other spots, like my tons of hours played Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Mm-hmm. But you can't name Melee.
Can't name Melee.
And that's the thing about this particular, like the way that this one's structured is cutting off like series that you already named makes it challenging enough because it actually forces you to think, oh, I can't just say like Splinter Cell for everything because that's what I would have done. So like, oh, favorite soundtrack, Splinter Cell. Oh, favorite game, Splinter Cell. It's like, okay, dude, we get it. You love Splinter Cell. You're almost as bad as those Metal Gear fanboys. Except I don't shout about Tom Clancy's genius every single time.
Right.
I don't really care. He's a good writer, but that's it. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, the first one.
All right.
Just as a safe choice.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not my ultimate choice, but it's a good choice I'm gonna make for this instant.
And again, I hope you guys followed along.
If you could.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. If you want to share some of your answers, we got YouTube comments as these little images of each game popped up.
We're going image heavy, aren't we? We're gonna go with images. We have video now.
Again, not for the Spotify.
No, obviously not.
Which again, you can leave your answers in a review. Yeah. But
your choices suck.
Yeah, let me know that me and Fox had horrible choices.
Yeah, no, we absolutely don't care.
Yeah, and again, if you want to know more of my answers, maybe we'll get to. I
will try to get you with another guest, whoever's into video games.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm down to hear that.
And
you gotta make it quicker though, because if you're making it with me, you gotta expect a 3-hour talk.
Oh, I know. That's why I only had 5 questions, and then give you some room.
That's the best choice, really.
But I think that's our time for today. Next time Fox will be on, I don't know if you caught on, but he's a pretty big wrestling fan, so he'll definitely be on at some point as we watch WrestleMania X7.
Hashtag WrestleMania season. Oh, wait.
It's May.
It's May. I'm glad for wrestling. I'm not.
Alright, well, thanks for coming on, Fox, and you'll definitely come on again pretty soon.
I will be coming.
Do you have anything to plug, or is that how you wanted to end it?
That's it.
Alright.